see you. All right, so let's just settle into our meditation posture. And Sheila, would you mind muting everybody, please? Thank you. So let's just land. So whatever you've been doing today. Oh, just wait a second. I need to whatever it is you've been doing today and however it is you are showing up this evening, it's all fine. Whatever is going on in your mind, just notice what's there and don't judge. Just notice. And then check your sitting posture. So your legs parallel if your feet are down. Sits bones raised 2 to 4 inches. Also, hands in the meditation mudra, shoulders are aligned with the hips. And if this is available to you, the ears lengthening, gliding back to be aligned with your shoulders. And imagine your spine is a string of pearls of light stretching from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. It's very gently lengthening. In some space in between those vertebrae, lengthening all the muscles along the back, the spine. And just very gently tip your head forward, drop your chin down, put some length in the back of the neck. And your eyes are down, if they were open, looking along the length of the nose to a spot about 2 inches ahead on the ground. Tip of the tongue is on the roof of the mouth and relax the jaw. Take a nice deep breath, just relax. And bring your attention to the crown of the head and relax the scalp, the forehead, the eyes, the nose, the cheeks, the area around the mouth, back of the head, the occipital bone, the scalp, the skin over that bone, and just relax your ears and your temples and the jaw, back of the tongue, and the back of the neck. Just release any tension there. Drop your shoulders down. Drop your shoulder blades down. Relax your throat and the chest and the belly. Limbs, hands, fingers, and feet and toes, and bring the mind to the breath. And just notice the sensation of the air as it's flowing in through your nostrils and out again. If there are any sounds in your environment, just allow those sounds to be there. And just notice, how is your mind reacting? If you do have sound, how does your mind react to that sound? Is it running towards it? Are you trying to push it away? Just let it be, and bring your attention back to the breath. And then become aware of your thoughts again as they arise and abide and fall. And just notice what's there. And don't judge. Just look at it as an objective observer, and then try not to engage or follow a story. So we're sitting on the bank of a river. watching that river flow on by, that river of mental moments. We're not getting swept down the river. We're just sitting there, safer in the bank, just watching, observing, free. Then let's bring to mind all the people of our life, our friends, our very dear, sweet friends, our loved ones, our spouses. And then those people who we have difficulty with. We tend to push them away, wish they weren't in our life. And then there's those people who we don't really care about because they're strangers to us. So this friend, this enemy, and the stranger, they can all change places at any time in your life. And then there's this somehow difficult thing. I think we find it interesting to think about, maybe almost impossible, that we should have equal concern for these three different groups of people because they all wish to be happy, just like us. They all wish to be free from suffering, just like us. And they all have this incredible capacity for this enlightened mind. So why would we discriminate? So I think we'll do this practice tonight for all these people of our life, and by extension for all sentient beings. So remembering there is no negativity that cannot be purified. And this purification process is basically a psychological one. So we create negativity with our mind, so we can change it by creating positivity with our mind. So we're doing this with this Vajrasattva practice in the context of the four opponent powers. So to start with, sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all past lives, and think of specific actions of both your body and your speech, and then in general, just regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma. We experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions. So having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. And we cannot bear the thought of future suffering. We already know what it's about. So logically, it would make sense to pull those karmic seeds out before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this. I regret from the depths of my heart, having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows, because I do not want the future suffering. I am sick of suffering. And so also regret the anger, the attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others, and think, again, I'm sick of this suffering. And then think, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance. We rely upon, we turn to the Buddha, the doctor, who has the methods we can use to purify. And it's not that we're needing the Buddha to forgive us, we purify ourselves by relying upon his methods. So imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. And you can also imagine that this is your teacher, manifesting in this form for your benefit. And you can imagine also he's made of radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. And this white lotus is born out of mud, and although born out of mud, it's untainted by that mud, just like our enlightened potential, born out of our delusions, but yet untainted by them. And Vajrasattva has this brilliant, radiant, beautiful face. His eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all the people of your life equally. And however it is you've turned up this evening, whatever it is you're carrying with you in your mind, in your heart, it's okay. No problem. He's just really happy to see you, loves you exactly as you are. He has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell, which represents wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents indestructibility of compassion, and their being crossed represents the union of these two, which symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I am enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, the very beings we have harmed, and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. And then think particularly of people you may have harmed recently and in the past, and then in general, all beings we have ever harmed since beginningless time. And then remember, although it may be a little bit more difficult, those who have harmed you. And we want to have compassion for them because they will suffer as a result of the harm they've caused you. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these sentient beings. Think I must purify for their sake. So now we come to the power of the remedy, and this is the actual medicine doing the practice of purification. We do recitation and visualization. So first we come to the purification of the body. And Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose very forcefully from his heart, and it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of all your lower orifices all the harm you have ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinopatita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mudza Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinopatita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinopatita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinopatita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinopatita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinopatita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinopatita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So be delighted that all the harm you have ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think there is no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. So the next is the purification of the speech. And again, Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra. And this arcs around and forcefully enters your crown, filling your entire body. And this time, forcing up to the top of the body, all the negativity of your speech. And this overflows quite powerfully disappears into space, not one atom left. It's almost like it's shooting out of the top of your head. So you can imagine that all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying and talking badly about others behind their backs, all of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Sipokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Sipokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Sipokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Sipokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Sipokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Sipokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Sipokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe. Again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything other than benefit others now with your speech. So the next is a purification of the mind. And imagine Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So it's the same as when you walk into a pitch black room and you switch on a light, that light instantly dispels the darkness. So just imagine as the light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, so all your attachment and neediness and anger and depression and resentment and jealousy and grudges and bitternesses and disappointments, all of this instantly dispelled, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Sipokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Sipokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Sipokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Sipokaya Mebowa Anurakta me bawa sawa siddhi me piyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajrama me mutta vajra bawa maha samaya sattva a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida me bawa sutokaya me bawa supokaya me bawa Anurakta me bawa sawa siddhi me piyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan Sawa tata gata vajrama me mutta vajra bawa maha samaya sattva a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida me bawa sutokaya me bawa supokaya me bawa Anurakta me bawa sawa siddhi me piyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajrama me mutta vajra bawa maha samaya sattva a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Duda mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa Anurakta mebawa sawa siddhi me piyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajrama me mutta vajra bawa maha samaya sattva a hum pe So again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and speech, are totally purified, gone. And think there is no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. So the next is a purification of the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. So if you wish, you can recite a couple of mantras each for the visualization of the body and of the speech and of the mind that we've just done. Or you can just imagine light and nectar just pouring into you, filling you completely, and eradicating even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your mind as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa Anurakta mebawa sawa siddhi me piyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajrama me mutta vajra bawa maha samaya sattva a hum pe Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa Anurakta mebawa sawa siddhi me piyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajrama me mutta vajra bawa maha samaya sattva a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa Anurakta mebawa sawa siddhi me piyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajrama me mutta vajra bawa maha samaya sattva a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa Anurakta mebawa sawa siddhi me piyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajrama me mutta vajra bawa maha samaya sattva a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa Anurakta mebawa sawa siddhi me piyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajrama me mutta vajra bawa maha samaya sattva a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa Anurakta mebawa sawa siddhi me piyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajrama me mutta vajra bawa maha samaya sattva a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa Anurakta mebawa sawa siddhi me piyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajrama me mutta vajra bawa maha samaya sattva a hum pe So now feel you are completely purified. Not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to omniscience have been removed. So next is the power of resolve. And this is the fourth step in the purification process. And it's a really crucial one. And this is the determination to not harm with our body and our speech and our mind again. And so without this, we are going to keep doing the same old things over and over again, following the same old habits and patterns. So this determination, this aspiration to not harm again it's like a beacon that guides our body and our speech and our mind in new and more positive directions. So just think of something that you'd like to work on and remember to rejoice in what you have been achieving, how you've been expanding, growing through this practice. And just think of something you'd like to work on. And again, don't judge yourself, don't be hard on yourself, just be practical. Okay, so I need to start working on this. You just gotta start. Step by baby step, humbly. And then this determination to not do again, or to refrain from doing things, or at least to start thinking about it, or even if it's 20 seconds or a minute. This is making a decision like this is what gives us the strength to change. So Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wanting to merge with your mind. He melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown. And think, my guru's body, speech, and mind, and Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same thing. And LAMA YESHE used to call that union oneness. So next, as Rinpoche recommends, meditate on the emptiness of the three circles. In emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level your mind understands emptiness, place your mind there for a little while. So we can think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. And you can also think that the way things are appearing to me may not necessarily be the way they exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created doing this purification to all living beings, thinking, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. And for His Holiness the Dalai Lama, who's teaching right now, the wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, to the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso, I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. And for Lama Zopa Rinpoche, you who uphold the subduer's moral way, who serve as the bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving, and spreading Manjana's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplishes magnificent prayers honoring the three jewels, savor of myself and others, your disciples, please, please live long. And for Lama Ursel, Venerable One, to you whose kindness exceeds out of all the conquerors, for those wanderers in far-off places, especially the West, mindful of your loving concern for us in intentionally descending again into a family of a far distant land, we make this request. O Lama, please, please live long. Geshe Cherub, beloved teacher leading your students toward wisdom and compassion, explaining through exacting discernment the steps of the graduated path. You are the unequal guide. Please live a long and stable life. Thank you, everybody. Lots of love. Good night. Sleep well. And I'll see some of you tomorrow morning. And thanks for hosting.